Okay, in this tutorial today, I'm going to have a go at writing an essay in real time. So you can see the process which I've spoken about in my previous video and get some ideas of how this might actually work, how this might be put into effect. For example, so I'll be typing it out here on the screen. My typing's is not that fast, so we'll see how that goes. Obviously, of course, in the exam you will be using a pen or a pencil, but for the purpose of this explanation, I'll have to use Word. Okay, so if you remember from the video that I posted a couple of days back, if you've seen it, if not, you can find it on the channel. Looking at the to what extent essay question. If you recall, I outlined a structure which we might use, which is basically this. In that video, we were looking at space exploration. It was something like space exploration, is it a waste of money, etc. Blah blah blah. To what extent? So what we did there, we've got the introduction, sentence 1 for every question type. You paraphrase the question, restate the topic. Sentence 2, give your opinion, because it's to what extent, so it's asking you, what do you think, to what extent do you agree. Sentence 3, we need an outline, your main idea 1 for paragraph 2, main idea 2 for paragraph number 3. The body paragraphs, as we've seen, your topic sentence, your main idea, explain it, example, a concession, despite the fact that, or reinforce the example if you need be. And it's the same for paragraph number 2. And conclusion, we restate the question and your main ideas 1 and 2. You can make a recommendation if a question is worded, or if you can think of anything, if you've got time. So that's it really. 4 paragraphs, that's the typical structure. And we've got 3, 7, 11, 12, maybe 13 sentences, and that would be fine. So let's take a look at this then. Currently there is a trend towards the use of alternative forms of medicine. However, at best these methods are ineffective, and at worst they may be dangerous. To what extent do you agree with this statement? So, as I mentioned before, we've got 40 minutes for this. You get an hour in total, so 20 minutes for task 1, 40 minutes for task 2. Out of that time, we need to be spending 5 minutes or so making a plan, analysing the question. Now this is important. I know quite a number of people who simply misinterpret the question. They end up writing about the topic but not the question itself. So analysing is very important. You can look at the key words, think of synonyms, play around. We only need 2 main ideas as such. The reason why, oops, for some reason I'm in italics. Well, we don't need that. Okay, yeah. So we only need 2 main ideas. So it's not asking you to discuss both views. It's not asking you for you to show an alternative view. It's asking to what extent. So you either agree or not, and we need 2 reasons why you do or why you don't. And that's it. If you look at the structure again, yeah, main idea 1, main idea 2. So all that you're basically doing is saying I agree and 2 reasons why, this and this. Now, when you're thinking about to what extent do you agree or not, so I have to say, it's not about whether you really agree or not. That's not the issue. The IELTS test is not a test of truth. The examiner doesn't really care what your opinions are. They're just concerned with the criteria, lexis, grammar, cohesion, coherence, and task achievement, etc. They don't care whether your opinion is real or not. So what you do when you are deciding this, you say, right, if I agree, regardless of whether that's my opinion or not, can I think of enough to write 250 words? Can I think of reasons and examples? No. But if I disagree, even though that may not be my opinion, I can think of this, I can say this, I can give this example, this reason, etc. So that's basically how you decide what you are going to do. So let's have a look at the question first then. So currently there's a trend towards use of alternative forms of medicine. So with most of the essays, the first part of the question is not a question, it's just it's setting a scene. It's providing the context. So actual question is, right, however, so do you agree or not that alternative medicine in whichever form is ineffective and possibly it's dangerous? So that's the question. That's what you would need to write about. We don't want you to be writing about different kinds of alternative medicine and how good they are and give a list. That isn't it. It's asking, do you agree that alternative medicine is ineffective and dangerous? Yes or no? Okay, so let's have a look. So, as we know, sentence 1, let's just clear this off. Sentence 1, we have to analyze. We have to paraphrase the question, restate the question. So what could we say? Okay, alternative medicine is increasing in popularity in many countries. Okay. Now, however, well, that's the question. So, hang on. Despite this, many people believe. Oops. Oh, I can't really spell. Sorry. Many people believe such methods are ineffective and possibly dangerous. Okay, so ineffective and dangerous. Believe these methods are ineffective and possibly dangerous. Increasing popularity. Maybe I should paraphrase that a little bit more. Change dangerous into harmful. That's good. Paraphrase, well, synonym. Such methods, these methods are ineffective. That isn't too bad. You don't have to change every single word. Now, what I need to do now, as we've seen, sentence 2, I have to give my opinion. Do I agree or not? Let me think. So, do I agree? No, I disagree. Okay, so I disagree with this opinion. Now I need to give my 2 main ideas. What are they? What are they? Now, this is why you have to make a plan. I should have have made a plan before I started. I'm getting ahead of myself. 2 main ideas. Okay, let's be more specific. Let's make alternative forms of medicine. Let me talk about acupuncture. That's going to be my main idea. I'm going to take acupuncture. As we know, acupuncture is popular these days. It's a part of traditional Chinese medicine. Many people use it to stop smoking, for example. To stop smoking. I think they also use it for back pain also. Okay, and I think many doctors recommend it these days because it's you don't use any drugs, any medicine, you just use little pins and needles. So, okay, recommended by doctors. Right, so that's what I'm going to talk about. The first thing. What's the second thing? The second thing. Traditional. Right. So I'm going to say that I think traditional medicines are not as safe as we might think. Let me think now. If we consider antibiotics, for example, I know for a fact in the UK many doctors do not prescribe these because there's the idea, which you may have heard about these so-called superbugs, which become resistant because antibiotics are overused. Superbugs arising which are resistant to antibiotics, and if you overuse these, you can be at risk of some harm. Okay, so that's not bad. Okay, I disagree with this opinion. Let me see, and shall argue that acupuncture, for example, acupuncture, for example, is effective and safe. And secondly, that traditional medicines are far from perfect. Okay, so that's all that you basically need. You don't need to explain much because that's what you will be doing in body paragraph 2 and 3. So sentence 1, paraphrase the question, restate, what do you think? Outline, in this essay I'm going to talk about this and this. Then you explain it, expand on it in your body in paragraph 1 and 2. Okay, so let's get back to it. So that's my introduction. Let's just check the word count. 46 words. So I only need 204. Well, about 200 and most essays usually come in about 280, 290. So I only need about another 210 words or so, 220. So that's not bad. So body paragraph 1. So I need to talk about my main idea now. Acupuncture. So okay. Firstly, alternative medicine such as acupuncture. So alternative medicine such as acupuncture is becoming increasingly popular. Okay. Many people use this for treatment of back pain and to stop smoking. So that's, if we take a look at it again, main idea, explain it now. I need an example. So what can we say? To mention the increased popularity uses for treatment of back pain and to stop smoking. That this is safe is proven by a recent survey of doctors in the UK, which shows that 70% of GPs, that's general practitioners, of doctors, have recommended this treatment to their patients. Okay. Now this example here, it's one that I've just invented. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, a tutorial, nobody is going to check your examples. Examiner is not going to waste his time going on to Google to find out if your example is true or not. So that's not important. So as a criteria, basically says for task achievement, the more specific example, the better. So make something up. Nobody cares, nobody is going to check. So alternative medicine such as acupuncture. So as you see, I'm moving from the general to the specific. That's always a good idea. Many people use this for the treatment of back pain and to stop smoking. That this is safe is proven by a recent survey of doctors, which shows 7% of GPs have recommended this treatment to their patients. Now, I need another sentence. If there were any doubt about the safety of this treatment, then no doctor would prescribe it for their patients. Okay, so that's basically the structure then, which we have here. Main idea, explain, example, reinforce it. So I don't know. That's not too bad as a paragraph. It's often when you're writing, you don't have time to piss about, to be chopping and changing, and I know some of my students, this is what they do, and they end up taking an hour when they're doing their examination rehearsal and practice, because they're crossing the sentences, they're rewriting. We just don't have the time for it. Now, so paragraph number 3. Now, my main idea, if we go back to the introduction, the traditional medicines are far from perfect. In other words, they're not as safe as they might be. So, okay. Secondly, traditional medicines have possible side effects. Also, well, let me change that. Have possible harmful side effects. Also, so that's the main idea. Now, what do I mean by this? Shall I talk about antibiotics? That's all harmful side effects. Also, let me think. Harmful side effects. Also, okay. If we consider antibiotics, such as, do we spell this? Penicillin. Let's do that. Antibiotics such as penicillin. There have been several health warnings by doctors regarding over use of these drugs or this drug. Okay, so what do I need to say? Antibiotic penicillin helpful warnings doctors regarding over the use of these drugs. A recent article in the Lancet, which is a real journal by doctors, in the Lancet, suggested that the prescription of penicillin may give rise to so-called superbugs, which are immune to treatment and can kill anyone who is sick. It could be true, I don't know, but again, nobody is going to check it, so recent article in the Lancet make it more specific in 2015. Just immune to treatment and can kill anyone who is sick. Okay. Again, it's not perfect, but we haven't got time for this here. When you're writing, you're under serious time constraints, so it doesn't have to be perfect, really. So what I need now, I need another sentence to explain this. Just a sec. As a consequence, even though penicillin is regarded as a safe traditional medicine, make it present perfect, because maybe it isn't now. Penicillin has been regarded as a safe traditional medicine. I need to mention some possible side effects. Okay, even penicillin has been regarded as a safe traditional medicine. It still has potential to cause harm. It has the potential to cause harm. Oh dear. It still has potential to cause harm. Unlike acupuncture, so I'll link that back to acupuncture. Okay, now that's not too bad. Let's just check. So, traditional medicines have possible harmful side effects too. If we consider penicillin, been several health warnings regarding overuse. Recent article, a specific example, may give rise to so-called superbugs in moon and can kill anyone who is sick. As a consequence, it still has potential to cause harm, unlike acupuncture. Now, that's not too bad. Now, so conclusion then. What we need to do is we need a summary. Restate the question, the topic and main ideas 1 and 2. Then make a recommendation. Let's see what we can do then. So, in conclusion, sorry, my clumsy fingers. In conclusion, despite alternative medicine being criticized, being criticized, some forms such as acupuncture have been proven to be beneficial. Okay. And are as safe, if not safer, than some traditional. Don't want to keep using the same words. Some conventional treatments like penicillin. Right, that's not bad. Despite alternative medicine being criticised, some forms are beneficial and safe, not safer than some conventional treatments like penicillin. So that's basically what I say in the introduction. That's good. Okay. My recommendation would be that both alternative and traditional medicines may well have a part to play in treatment of some illnesses. Okay, no, right. That's not too bad. Now let's just check the word count. So we've got 259 words. That's not too bad. It's a little short, it's a little bit sparse. I've only done 29 minutes now, 30 minutes, actually less than 30 minutes. So if when you're writing you leave a bit of space between your paragraphs, you've always got room to add some extra stuff if your word count's a little bit low, but 259 is not too bad. So let's just have and then at the end, so you need 5 minutes to plan, analyze, about 30 minutes to write it, then you need 2 or 3 minutes at the end to check things over and make sure. So let's just have a quick check. So, have I answered this question? Do I agree that alternative medicine is ineffective and dangerous? No. Okay, I disagree. Acupuncture is effective rather than perfect. Alternative medicine, okay. Traditional medicines. Right, so that's not bad. That's not too bad at all. Now, that's just to give you a general idea. I mean, if I had more time, I could possibly write a better essay, but you have to bear in mind that when you are sitting the exam, you don't have time. You're under pressure. You've got to perform, respond, write 250 words. So when you're practicing, you have to try and keep this in mind also. So that's not bad. So I'll post this on my blog also, and if you've got any questions, you can send me a message there. And if you need anything else, if you've got any particular subjects that you want me to make a tutorial on, then if you send me a message, I'll just type my email, kevin@ielts.com. So if you've got any suggestions for a tutorial, then you can send me a message and I'll see what I can do. Okay, thanks.